Welcome to the webinar of the Unit Manage Meetings. I'm your specialist mentor, Denise, and I'm going to be conducting the webinar with you today on the first assessment, Assessment 1 in the Manage Meetings unit. So what is today's purpose? Okay, so the purpose of today is to provide a breakdown of the unit, Assessment 1, and to give you some assistance in completing this assessment so that you can progress through your course. And how will the session run? Okay, so I'll begin with an overview of the assessment as a whole, and then we'll work through the assessment. We're going to utilise a couple of documents and systems to work with. First of all, we're going to have a look at your unit breakdown document, which is contained within the student workbook. We're going to utilise your LMS, your online learning system, and any relevant task sheets or templates that you'll need to successfully complete this assessment. So have a think about how you can get the most out of this webinar session. So what I'd suggest is that you ensure that you have your LMS open, the assessment, which in this case is Assessment 1 in the Manage Meetings unit, have that open as a Word document, and also your unit breakdown document for the Manage Meetings unit. So if you have all those at the ready, you can then watch the entire webinar session in one hit, or you're very welcome to pause throughout the session in order that you can take some notes or even complete a question and then resume. So in other words, you can watch the session back as many times as you like, and you can even fast forward to a specific question if you wish, which may help you, I'm sure, with this webinar and this assessment. Okay. So what happens after the webinar? So you can work on your assessment and submit what you've completed, and then we will mark this as we usually do, and the mentor that marks your assessment will provide you feedback, which you can locate on your LMS. You can also organise a coaching call with one of the specialist mentors, and then there's another option for those of you that can get into the campuses in the capital cities, Melbourne, Sydney and Brisbane. You can attend what we call our SSS, which is the study support sessions. So there's a couple of options of support for you. So let's get started and we can tackle Assessment 1 together. So the first thing that we need to do is actually open up the LMS. And as you can see here on the screen, we're looking at Manage Meetings Assessment 1. So we click on this area here, and then if you can see, click here to download Assessment 1. We click on that document, and then we open that up. What you see in front of you here at the moment is the Unit 2 Assessment Breakdown document, and we're just going to come back to the LMS momentarily and see if we can also open that up. Here it is. Okay, Assessment 1. So this is what you'll download, and this gives you, I'll just do a quick scroll through. This gives you your information for Part A and Part B of Assessment 1 with instructions to help you with this particular assessment. So what I'm going to do now is go back and open up what we call the unit breakdown document, and that's contained within your student workbook that may have been posted to you or emailed to you by one of your mentors. And it's a really helpful document that provides you with tips and tricks on how to complete any of the assessments within any of the units. So this one we're looking at in front of us now is the Unit 2 Manage Meetings, and what I'm going to do is quickly show you the two documents that we're going to be working on today, which is the meeting agenda, and also there'll be a email template. And you need to complete both of these documents in order to submit those for Unit 2 Manage Meetings Assessment 1. I'm just going to flick back to the LMS now, and we'll just have a little look at going back one more screen. Can you see here under Manage Meetings Assessment 1, there's a whole range of documents that you'll need to access for the whole unit, but specifically Assessment 1. So I'm just going to highlight there Tri-Fitness Meeting Guidelines. You might want to make a little note for yourselves that this is a really valuable document that you use and you will need for all three assessments in Managed Meetings, but we're just going to talk about it in relation to Assessment 1 today. So the Tri-Fitness Meeting Guidelines, and then the two templates that I referred to that are mentioned in your student unit weight breakdown book are the Tri-Fitness Meeting Agenda and the Tri-Fitness email template that I've highlighted there on the screen. So those two documents are the only two documents that you need to fill out to submit for Assessment 1. These other documents, the guidelines, the company file, the roles of meeting participants, and the checklist are all support documents that you will need to use to assist you to complete these two templates, the meeting agenda template and the email template. We'll just see if we can open up this agenda template now. Can't open it up in that format, so I'm going to go back to the unit breakdown version and we'll have a look at it here. So if you can see here on the right-hand side of the screen, the meeting agenda template in your LMS will look very similar to this one here. So the top part of the agenda template is here, and the rest of the templates under here. So I'll just talk to you about the top part of the agenda template to assist you with that. The beauty of this unit breakdown booklet and or soft copy that you might have, it gives you some tips and tricks which are highlighted on the document here, as you can see. So for example, it gives you some clues and help with what to include in each of these areas. So for example, in the meeting section here, what you need to do is include what type of meeting it's going to be. So for the Managed Meetings unit as a whole, it's scenario based, and the whole unit is based on a company called Tri-Fitness, and you're going to be managing meetings for the state managers so you can assist them to plan their annual Christmas party. So because each of the three state managers in this scenario are in three different capital cities, Melbourne, Sydney and Brisbane, it's optimal and efficient for those state managers to attend the meeting via Skype or teleconference, for example. So you would need to select which of those or both you're going to pop in the type of meeting that it would be. It wouldn't be wrong to put face-to-face, but for convenience and efficiency, chances are the state managers would hold their meeting via teleconference and or Skype. The meeting date you can select yourself. For the purpose of the whole Managed Meetings unit and particularly Assessment 1, your role is as the chairperson. Because the unit is about managing meetings, you get the opportunity in terms of documentation and actually role-playing a meeting for this unit, which is quite exciting. So you can put your name in next to where it says chairperson, because that's your role for this meeting. Based on the scenario of the Tri-Fitness company and the state managers, who will be the attendees or the invitees or the people present at the meeting, you need to select, as part of your decision-making and competency of this assessment, you need to select the minute taker. So you can choose whichever one of the three state managers you would like to nominate as the minute taker for this particular meeting. and that goes in this section where it says minute taker. The instructions in the assessment one that you will have downloaded from your LMS describe the scenario, and it also includes in there that the meeting duration or the time frame of the meeting is 1 hour. So you can choose the start and finish time. I would recommend that you would consider workplace or professional office hours, for example, so somewhere between 9 and 5. So if you chose 9 a.m, that would go in the start, and say 10 a.m. in the finish, as a logical example. The invitees are the participants of the meeting. In this instance, once you've read the scenario, you can reinforce this point for yourself, but the invitees are the 3 state managers of Tri-Fitness, so their names would be listed in the invitees section. The venue. Now, this is a frequently asked or frequent question of concern for students. The venues, as the meeting would be held as a teleconference or Skype meeting, each of the state managers would attend the meeting via their capital city, so they'd each remain in their respective offices, and they would attend the venue or attend the meeting via Skype or teleconference. So the venue options are listed in the document Tri-Fitness Meeting Guidelines document that I showed you earlier in your LMS above the template area. So there's a little graph in there, a little chart at least, that shows you or lists the different meeting rooms for New South Wales, Vic and Brisbane, and you select each one of those and have one for each state manager representing each state as the venue. The purpose of the meeting, lots of students record in their Christmas party. That's actually not the purpose of the meeting. The purpose of the meeting is the planning of the Christmas party or Christmas party planning meeting, along those lines for the purpose. So that's the top section of the agenda template. Now we're just going to scroll down to the next part of it's the same template in your LMS document. It will, the top section that that was just on the screen just sits above this section here. The next part of the template, agenda template that you complete, will have down the left-hand side agenda items. Now, once again, you'll need to read the scenario, the agenda of the meeting in your assessment one document on your LMS, and that will assist you to know what the agenda items are. So it'll be things like a date for the Christmas party or choosing a date for the Christmas party, choosing a theme, venue, and so on. There's about 6 or 7 agenda items that you list down the left-hand side of the agenda template. A frequently asked question or perhaps area that mentors give feedback on with the agenda template is the time frame. Often students will just will break the agenda items up in, say, 10-minute lots across the hour time frame, and they'll record 10 minutes, 10 minutes, 10 minutes in each of the agenda areas. What we like to see is if your meeting's starting at 9, then in the time frame you'd put 9 to 9:10 a.m. and then 9:10 to 9:20, like that, rather than just having 10 minutes, 10 minutes, 10 minutes. So hopefully that will be a little tip and trick that might save some students with a resubmit or a comment. So that's a little tip for you. So essentially that's the first template of assessment one that needs to be completed. The second part is part B, so that's part A, which is just underneath in the unit breakdown document, and that is an email template. Now, in your LMS, it will just appear as a blank template with just this top section with the CC and BCC, carbon copy or blind carbon copy, and then a subject line. So just much the same as you would write any email, you would address using an email address. So one of the state managers, actually you address the email template to all state managers. The purpose of this email template is to invite the state managers to the meeting. So look up the state managers' names. There's roles of the participants is one of the documents on your LMS, and you'd put one of the state managers in the to section, and then in the CC or carbon copy section, the other two state managers' names and the subject title. So it'd be something along the lines of Christmas party planning meeting. Some students just much the same as the agenda, they just put in their Christmas party. In fact, it's not, it's to plan the Christmas party. So the subject is Christmas party planning meeting. And then you would commence your email, dear state managers. You could even address them individually. And then in the body of the email, there's some criteria in there that you need to include, and it's listed here in the unit breakdown document. So make sure your email's professional. Use an appropriate greeting when you're opening the email, or as your opening line on the email. State what you're inviting the people to. So Christmas party planning meeting, for example. State where the meeting will take place, how long it will take. So I've already mentioned an hour long. Be sure to sign your email off at the end. Some students do a really terrific job of the email and then they forget to sign off professionally at the end of the email. You'll also need to make reference to the meeting agenda, so you can include a copy of the agenda at the base of your email, and that really concludes that template. So just to confirm again, Part A is the agenda template that you need to complete for this assessment, and Part B is the email template. All your information to find out about the scenario, the participants and so forth will be contained in the Assessment 1 download document, the Tri-Fitness Guidelines document, the roles of the meeting participants. All of these are in your LMS under Assessment 1 Manage Meetings. And for additional help, as well as the webinar, you've got this unit breakdown document here that gives you the tips and tricks that I've just talked you through now. So Part A, agenda template, Part B, email template. And so where to from here? Okay, so what you're to do, so to recap, is attempt the questions, open up your documents, have a listen to the webinar, and then you can contact your mentor, for which you will have their email address and phone number, or you can also, I'll just bring these up on the screen, you can get in touch with us by calling the team on this 1300 number, or you can email the team at student support, or contact your mentor, attend the SSS. Also, you can book a coaching call with one of the specialist mentors or the mentor that you currently are communicating with. Remember that you can also, so that's the support available to you. You can also watch this webinar, stop it in various places along the way as you're working on those two assessments. Remember to go to your LMS to find these documents, your Assessment 1 download, and the two templates that you'll be working on will be the agenda template, the email template, and the documents around them are the supporting documents to help you with the background information and any other details that you might need to assist you to complete these templates. So good luck and best wishes with Assessment 1 Manage Meetings, and remember to contact your mentors if you need any further support. And thanks for watching today.